The HP Outdoors Waterfowl podcast is fueled by Eukanuba. If you want to get the most of your dog in your training sessions, you need nutrition that holds nothing back. Eukanuba's new premium performance lineup is built with the nutrients dogs need to help unleash their max potential. That starts with providing energy that matches their efforts, supporting optimal nutrient delivery, and supporting post-exercise recovery. Check out the new Eukanuba premium performance lineup and find your dog's fuel at eukanubasportingdogs.com. You are listening to the HP Outdoors Waterfowl Podcast. Lifetime Decoy's new Flex Float Mallard decoys set the new standard for quality and durability in waterfowl decoys. An EVA foam, open bottom construction combined with patent-pended dual flow swim keel system allows for more movement and less wind, the ability to sit flat on ice and dirt, and virtually indestructible design which can be shot or otherwise punctured and still float. Each decoy weighs only 11 ounces with the self-righting keel weights removed or 19 ounces with the weights installed. Check them out today at lifetimedecoys.com. SoundGear is offering a 35% discount to the HP Outdoors listeners for their instant fit industrial and shooter products. You can head over to soundgearhearing.com and use the promo code HPO35 to claim your discount today. Lucky Duck, about the only creature they can't deceive is you. Lucky Duck is more than a brand, it's a lifestyle built around the subtle art of critter deception. So while you're focused on the business end of your shotgun or rifle, know that they're completely focused on what matters most, you. So whether you're in a duck blind, dove field, on a predator stand, or chasing turkeys, they're confident that their products will help you succeed. Check out their full lineup at luckyduck.com and keep up with their latest news by following them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Welcome back to the HP Outdoors Foundation of Waterfowl Hunting course. This is Module 1, Lesson 3, Bag Limits. The daily bag limit essentially tells you what you can harvest every day that you go into the field. It talks about the number of ducks that you're allowed to harvest and the sex of each duck that a hunter may take in a single day. So basically, bag limits are going to vary a great deal between species, flyways, and states. So this is one of the most important things that you need to be aware of before you head to the field. How many of each type of duck and how many, drakes, which would be your males, and your hens as your females, how many of each that you're permitted to take. So an example of a bag limit might be 6 ducks of any species, except for the following restrictions. It can include no more than 4 mallards, only 2 could be hen mallards, 4 long-tailed ducks, 4 eiders, 3 wood ducks, etc. It will tell you if there's a restriction on a particular subspecies, what that restriction is. If the duck is not listed in that list of restrictions, then you can fill your entire bag limit with all 6 of that subspecies should you choose to. You may also have situations where the bag limit will change for the different time of year. As an example, you may read something like part of the restrictions is 2 black ducks, except closed during October 5 through 8. So again, different times of the year might impact how many of each type of duck you can take. Goose limits will vary greatly whether you're hunting an early season resident population of geese compared to later in the season when you're hunting migratory geese. So the time of the year, the zone, the split that you're in will all greatly impact your bag limit. So it's important to check those before you head to the field. One thing of note, mergansers and coots are typically separate from your other duck bag limit. So you may have a 6 duck bag limit, but you can also take 5 mergansers or 25 or 15 coot, whatever your state regulation is. So read that portion of your hunting digest thoroughly so that you clearly understand how many ducks of what subspecies you can take on any given day hunting.
I think that, we did set this foundations up for the beginner hunter, but this is something that the seasoned hunters need to look at every single year. Just because you've been hunting 20 or 30 years, and I think this shows of when we put this together, because our limit was 4 mallards at the time, and now it's 2 mallards and you can only shoot 1 hen. So I don't know how many times I've been out with older gentlemen that have been hunting for 25, 30, 40 years, and they're still looking to take 4 mallards in this area, and said, man, you need to update your reg book, and make sure that you're hunting under those regulations. So another thing with bag limits: when you're hunting with a group, you are not allowed to help others obtain their limit or continue shooting until everyone in the blind gets a limit. When you take your limit, you must stop shooting, become an observer, while other hunters who don't have a full limit continue to hunt. In addition, hunters must maintain possession of their own birds in the blind. Retrieved birds should not be piled together, but immediately distributed to the hunters who harvested them. You should possess only the birds you shot. And I think that on social media, you're seeing this a lot more of guys that are hunting with guides. When you shoot a bird, it goes into your pile, and your pile specifically, to make sure that your limit is what you shot and not what everyone's shooting.
Right. Well, and to go a little further on an exemplar here, what that is saying is that, to use your Atlantic flyway mallard thing, if you and I are hunting and the first pass is a pair, drake and hen, and you shoot them, the next pass that comes through, if there are only mallards in that flock, you can't shoulder your gun legally, is what this is saying. So you would have met your limit. So you can't shoot another drake mallard and hand it to me as my limit, to be clear. So that's what it means by becoming an observer. When you've reached your limit, it's not just 6 ducks. It may be your limit of that subspecies of duck as well.
And I want to advise people that this is taken very seriously. The last time that I was checked here in Pennsylvania, a warden came out to the field and he said, "How many birds have you guys shot?" And we told him. They said, "Whose birds are whose?" And behind each blind, we had our birds that we harvested individually. So it is a question that's asked, and if you have a pile of 20 birds and you have 5 guys there, you better know who shot what and keep them separate. So moving on, when transporting waterfowl, the head or one fully feathered wing of each bird must be left intact for purposes of identification. The head or wing, and in some states both, must remain intact until the bird is transported to the hunter's home or until the bird is otherwise utilized. So make sure that if you are moving them from the field to your home, if you want to clean them wherever you clean them or whatever you're doing, make sure the head or one fully feathered wing is attached to the bird before you transport it.
Yeah, bag limits is a really important thing. It's one of the most important regulations because there's so much nuance to it with the different subspecies, different locations, different splits. So hear us when we say review your bag limits for your particular situation before you head to the field, because they do change. So what you think you knew to be correct may now be different. So bag limits is very, very important. In the next lesson, we're going to talk about the next step in those bag limits, and we're going to get into possession limits. That's going to do it for this episode of the HP Outdoors Waterfowl Podcast. If you're new to the show, head over to iTunes, check out some of our past episodes, and while you're there, leave us a 5-star rating and review. It's the best way for like-minded hunters just like you to find our show. Check us out on social media, check us out over at hpoutdoors.com, and anywhere you can find quality podcast content. That's going to do it for this week. Till next time, for Dan, I'm Josh. Take care.